Hey guys, and welcome back to Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights. And the very first thing that I have to do is apologise because somewhere outside, I'm not sure where, there is a party going on and people are screaming and shouting. I've got all the windows closed, I've got all the doors closed. Hopefully it can't be picked up. Hopefully. But there is the odd chance you may hear something here and there. But hopefully not. Slide! So, when we last left off, we beat up the ghost of Captain Moody, and we are in somehow the underneath of Mystic Manor stretches all the way to the lighthouse. I don't know how, but it does. So we are actually back in Mystic Manor. This is creepy crawlies in the hallways. There are actually a few entrances to this level, and they all seem to lead to the exact same place. We'll have to wait till later to get those Scooby snacks. These rocks are a freaking nightmare to avoid. Oh no, wait, I got them there. What am I talking about? So yeah, at the end of the last part I did go back through that door, so ignore all of this. Luckily this door stays open. Take out this. That's a very strangely placed secret. I mean, granted, we got here by breaking. We got here by breaking through the floor in the lighthouse and then going into that other door. So I guess it makes sense that there's a sea creature here, maybe. But I don't know what the ghost of Captain Moody is doing there. He's useless. He just hovers there. He will chase after you if you get close enough. You have to get really close. Oh, hey, a gargoyle. There's just this one single gargoyle here, so watch out for these pots. The pots are dangerous to touch. You also need to time your jump, make sure the bubbles are not there. Just about made that one. I believe there is a tunnel beneath me somewhere. Yeah, down where that torch is, but I think that is... It's either somewhere where I go later, or it's a point of no return. I always get mixed up. There's one there, and then there's one later on. Which is a really stupidly placed tunnel, because it is a point of no return if you go there, but there's Scooby snacks there. And the only thing to do is to kill yourself. Which is a really stupid place to put Scooby snacks. It's a really stupid place to have the door in general. Because it's not your means of progression. Shaggy, what are you doing in there? There's quite a few zombies around here. Hello, obviously breakable wall. Right, so now we've got now we got to chuck Shaggy in the air. Last time he was chucking us in the air. So you can grab down the Scooby snacks. You kind of have to hope that you're aiming in the right spot. There are shadows though, so it does help a little bit. Right, well this is a key that we can get so early on. The problem is we are not actually going in here for a long time. That right there, that door up there where those Scooby snacks are, that is our final point. That is the entry... Sorry, Shaggy. That is the entryway to Professor Graham's secret lab. The last two levels are on the other side of that door, and they tell us that so early on. We haven't rescued Daphne or Fred yet. They tell us it that soon. So we're not going through that door for a long time. First we need to make our way past these swinging axes, which I can never properly judge. I hate this room so much. The axes are hard to avoid, and when you end up with narrow corridors with ghosts like that, the ghosts are almost as big as the corridor. These are some awkwardly placed Scooby snacks. I think there's another way of getting to them, but I decided to go for them now. So as you can see, there's keys inside these whatever they are. However, we could not get these keys yet. We're going to be coming back to this room later on. There'll be a lot more in this room at that point, to make things a bit more interesting. At the moment it's just ghosts, and that's it. So you just grab that warp gate. I say grab it, activate the warp gate. Oh, I wonder what these are. Great job, Scooby, you got the plunger. Now we can climb up slopes. We are now like Dr. Jekyll when he was the ghost of Hyde. That's all I can think of. Yeah, I decided to I wanted to see what was on the other side of that door. Even though the warp gate was right there. Yeah, that one's going slower. That one's easy to avoid. Why can't they all be like that? So yeah, as you saw, there were like little pieces of chewing gum there. That's because we need the chewing gum upgrade way, way later in order to proceed.
Oh no, it's a zombie!
Zombies everywhere, just avoid them. Yeah, I thought this would lead somewhere special.
Right.
There's Scooby Snacks there. Why would you put a Scooby Snack there? I mean, I know that you can get back in, I clearly did, but why would you put a Scooby Snack there? That's the stupidest place for one. This is ridiculous. Well, that wasn't eventful at all. Alright, let's go. Let's use the mirror, the warp gate that's outside of the lighthouse instead. And then we can go and move on. But it's here where I made the same mistake that I did the last time I played this game. I didn't activate the warp gate that's over in Chills and Spills on the Haunted Hills because it's a bit out of your way. It's out of your way in terms of going there the first time, so I had to go to It's a Mean Greenhouse Scooby and do the first two parts of Chills and Spills. And now we're picking up where we left off at the end of part 3. At the beginning of part 3, I should say. So here it is. I completely missed that. So you need the ground pound to ever so slightly open those gates. Those gates never open all the way. And now we're at Scared Stiff at Skull Cliff. So, even though we've gone through the hedge maze, we're now back at the coast. This place isn't really that different to some of the cliffside areas from Smuggler's Cove. But I want to say Scared Stiff at Skull Cliff is also the one that has the most Scooby Snacks of any level in the game. I can't remember. It was either this or one of the ones in Smuggler's Cove. Whatever it was, there's like 394 of the things. So there's a lot of Scooby Snacks to obtain in one of these areas. I'm pretty sure it was this one. So the first thing we want to do is we want to head up here. We've got to go to the background area and then back to the foreground area. I hate this sort of thing. When you're on a moving platform and there's a Scooby Snack, and why did I do that? The platform moves back. Why did I do that? Such a waste of time. But yeah, I always hate it when you're on a moving platform and you gotta jump for something, because it's so easy to just fall off the platform. I get that that's the point, but I hate it all the same. Right, this is it. This is unique. I don't think I ever do this at any other point in the game. You can even see the hedge maze up in the top. I think it's the only time we ever go to like a bit in the background that you can't see. They must all die. I seem to be taking out the little ones and leaving the big ones alive. So you can come here when you get the ground pound ability. I didn't do that because you can only get to the end of this area. The moment you get into the next one, misbehaving quarter cave in, you're stuck again because you need the plungers to move on. So there's really no point in coming here when you get the ground pound. Just go to the secret passageways first, get the plunger, and then come here. It's a bit stupid that they let you do that because you can't exactly get very far. But for some reason that's the structure. So now we can just keep going along this pathway. We're not going to be going back to the secret passages for a while. It's all to the end now. All to the end of, let's call it the hedge maze. It's technically a graveyard. That was something. I mean, at the very least I didn't die. It's kind of awkward to get your positioning there. Because the platforms are quite small and then they're overhanging. See, I could have just gone back to get the Scooby snack then. Damn you, past me! Why did you do that? It's pretty much what I was asking myself when that was presently. Right, so let's hop on here. And that's it. Thankfully, that's the most tedious part. It's called Skull Cliff, but maybe I'm missing something. I don't think we ever actually see a cliff that's shaped like a skull, which is disappointing. I need the umbrella for that. Yes, the crabs must all die. There's no missing when they're gonna land. You're given plenty of time for these things, so don't worry about trying to time it against the falling rocks. You get plenty of time before they fall down. And this. Okay, that one's a bit tenser actually. That one's a bit faster. I mean, we're on the coast, it makes sense that he's there. Again, some monsters appear... Whoops. Forget what I said. Again, some monsters appear in appropriate areas. Other times they're just there. It's like, these are sea cliffs. It makes sense that the sea creature is here. It makes sense that Captain Cutler is here. Even if we're technically not like the Smuggler's Cove, we're not on the docks, we're not on the shipwrecks. But we're still on the coast. But then you get a few that are just in the most random areas. I believe, I can't remember entirely, I'll find out when I do that. But I think there's like one area, right at the top, in Fishy Clues for Scooby-Doo, there's like this one lone tar monster. I think it's where you pick up the monster token for it. It's like, just because the monster token is there, they have this one randomly placed tar monster. In the middle of a factory full of fish. Why? Why is that tar monster there? Why not just have the tar monster's monster token in the area where there's a load of tar monsters? Well, the one where there's like 3 of them in a row. I know that's right before the boss fight. But even so, it just makes more sense to me. Because we're actually going to be getting our next boss's monster token in this part. But we're not fighting the boss for a while. So you get it way earlier. That was close. I'm going to be going down there for a while though. Right, you can't double jump up here. There are 2 ways up. You can either wait until, well technically 3. You can either wait until you get the soap or the bubble gum. So I guess that technically does count as 2 ways. Or you can use the ground pound. And that is why I love the ground pound. You get so much air with it. You bounce off the enemy and you get the double jump. So depending on the size of the enemy, you can get some various heights. What does that activate? I'm not really sure. I probably missed something. I think I missed a platform here, but again, I have to come back to all of these levels to get the Scooby snacks anyway. So in the end, it's not that big a deal. We can come back here again later on. Later on, I say. Okay, there we go. Down. What am I doing? Go down. Just move on. Thank you, past me. It's been a while since I recorded this. I don't remember what happens. Part 4. You can see why there's so many Scooby snacks in this area. I believe this is one of the few that has a checkpoint in it. This is quite a large area. Right. Let's take the high road and the low road. So let's start by going here. At least this platform moves. No, it doesn't move slowly. I missed. Well, that didn't go well. Let's try that again. Yeah, the Captain Cutler ghosts do get kind of annoying. It's like all you just hear is ooh. Or, you know, I can completely defy the laws of physics like that. No, it's getting away. Seriously, how did I just do that? It's like I suddenly gained the power of a triple jump.
Right.
Check the high ground first. If the path encourages you to go left, go right, and vice versa. Standard Metroidvania, which is pretty much what this game is, only a very simplified one. And then we're back here again. And that's that. What the heck is with that guy's... I mean, I guess he is in a big suit, so I guess that does kind of make sense, actually. It's like that walking animation. Yeah, imagine if I was wearing one of those, that probably would be how I walk. So, you know, I won't judge him too harshly. He's missing all of the seaweed, though. Like, a good portion of the episode he was covered in seaweed. But I guess he's not in the water, so it's not something he's gonna have. It's like a random tar monster, just... These guys are just in such random places. Like, we came across one just outside the lighthouse for no reason at all. Then I don't think he's there at the beginning, but when you later revisit Cower in the Tower, there's a random one at the bottom.
Right.
It's like, why was the tar monster selected for these random locations where you just encounter one in a single area? So I don't get it. Why the tar monster? The tar monster does seem to be one of the favourites, but even so. It's just turning it from... Oh no, look! There's another one! I don't think I should be able to smack into a tar monster. I'm pretty sure it would have very different consequences. I need galoshes to walk on tar, but I can smack the tar monster with my head, and I'll be perfectly fine. Even without the helmet, you know, I'll still stun it. Or I can use the ground pound on it. Alright. So this is the checkpoint. Oh, there's the skull cliff. Okay. I never really paid attention to that. Yeah, that kind of has a skull on it. Takes a while to actually get to Skull Cliff. Right. These boats will tilt depending on where Scooby is, but they won't sink. So here you're fine. Your biggest obstacle here are the flying fish, which we can now kill. You cannot simply jump on flying fish. For some reason though, the invisibility frames do make you immune to the water. Because again, for some reason, even though he's proven time and time again that he's capable, Scooby cannot swim. Okay, drain the water. You are timed here. You've got quite a lot of time, but you are timed. Then just make your way across the rocks, across the boats. Try not to miss the Scooby Snacks, because again, you're under a time limit. There isn't really anything indicating when the time limit's going to end. So that's the part you gotta watch out for. Maybe this is just here to test you. No, it isn't. Yeah, I have no idea what was going on here. The shadow effects on that rock were going a bit quick. That happens every time, by the way. Every time I play this game, that effect happens. It's like the shadow glitches out. You do get sound effects for the water rising. Like, a sound effect will play before it begins to rise. Not that that means anything if you're too far away. I do like the effect on the walls of the cave though. That I like. Unfortunately, I missed some Scooby Snacks down there, so I gotta press the button again. So let's try that again. Our snack gate is just there. And you can just about make it out, so you can see that it's just after the second small rock. That is where you then have to go against the camera. And that'll get you your last few Scooby snacks. Avoid the flying fish. And there we go. And then, if you got them your first go, keep going, and otherwise you can just backtrack this way. Save some time. Plenty of time before the water goes back up, and now we can activate the snack gate. Or we could have activated it before, that doesn't mean anything. I don't know how the snack gate is stopping us from moving, but regardless. I don't even know why we need to move the gate. Surely Scooby can just crawl under it. But we're not at that game yet. This is actually one of 2 Scooby games I've played. The other one is Mystery Mayhem. I'm not sure which one I prefer because they're such different games. So this one's a platforming Metroidvania style thing. The other is Luigi's Mansion or something like that. I'm not really sure how you describe Mystery Mayhem. So there's a lot of puzzle solving elements and you're capturing ghosts for the book. So I'm not really sure what you call that genre. Is it action adventure? You've got large worlds, but they're not big open worlds, but you've got large worlds. I don't know. Character design wise, that game is way better. I hate the look of Shaggy in this game. But he's actually alright there. They also bring back the laughter track, and it's somehow even more annoying there than it is here because it's used so much more frequently. And here there's only like... I can never tell if it's just the same laugh track played at like maybe different speeds or different volumes. I think there are a few of them. But Mystery Mayhem uses it for nearly every single line of dialogue as well as other things. And there's literally only 2 laughter tracks. I can say that with certainty, there are 2 laughter tracks. And you will just it pretty much just keeps going back and forth between the 2. And now we can go up that slope. So this is where it would stop you. Oh, that's a good thing that made me invincible. Yeah, there's gargoyles in here. I want to say it's the last time we see them. Except here there's actually purpose compared to that one single gargoyle in Creepy Crawlies. It says there's a few. Right, you've got to time this one carefully. It might be easier if you had the bubble power up, but we're going to try this with a bounce. Unfortunately, I am too close, so he's going to just try and shoot fireballs at me instead. So we're going to get a distance, wait for him to get up higher, and then we can get our monster token. Or in this case, a ghost token. It's the green ghost, but we haven't seen the green ghost yet. I wonder what that means. It's almost as though it's the boss fight that we're going to be getting into in a very long time. Well, not a very long time. This game is not very long at all, but it's like that monster token is, spoiler warning, the green ghost is the next boss. And we're not going to be getting there for a while. It's like we got the whole graveyard to go through first off. And that's like 3 levels. With like 3 or 4 parts each. We're not getting to the green ghost for a while. So I really don't know why the green ghost's monster token is in here. If anything, surely this would have been the better place to have had the gargoyle one, wasn't it? Rather than the playground. I get that that was just there for like training, just to tell you that the monster tokens exist. I wanted to see where this gate goes. It takes me back to On Edge in the Hedge. And a very uninteresting part of that. Luckily the gate does not shut. Which I was terrified about. I was like, if I go too far away, is that gate going to shut? Thankfully it didn't. And this is not interesting at all. There's like 3 different entrances to On Edge in the Hedge. And some of them are points of no return, but they also have Scooby snacks on them. Luckily you can just go straight up that one on your first go, but you won't be able to get through the gate. Oh no, see, why can't I use the plunger on this? But I can use it on the slope. Yeah. Let me fight the slippery floor? Right, so I think this is the reason why it's called misbehaving cause a cave-in, because we are now technically, in a sense, trying to cause a cave-in. By hitting these very large, I think, rocks that look like giant teeth to me, we are creating platforms on the pathway beneath us. Why are the Scooby Snacks only now telling me what to do? Can't go through there, nothing interesting over there, I imagine. We can't see anything. See, that's always the annoying stuff, is when you have to come back to an area when for so few stacks, but you need the umbrella to get over there. The umbrella opens up so much in this game. It's like when you get the line launcher in Batman Arkham Asylum. It's just... once you get it, you're like, oh boy, half the Scooby Snacks. And that's it, but now... oh, God. I hate this room. I hate this room so much. So this is... probably... I'm not sure. It ties with one area that we'll be getting to later as the worst area in the entire game. There's only one other area that can compete with it. The difference being is that one of them is a pain to get the other one is only a pain to get the Scooby Snacks in. This one is partly because of that, but it's also just kind of difficult to time in general. So you press this button, and that seems for some reason causes the water to start rising. And now it is a race to the top. For the most part, it's fine. It's when you have to start platforming on those freaking sinking boats that it becomes a problem. Because you have to time it just right so that you can actually jump for the Scooby Snacks. And that's the problem here. Yeah, the ground pound does give you like additional time for your jumps. That was close. See, this is fine. It's one section of this, right towards the end. It's like the last platforming section of it, where it becomes annoying. Because you've got to make sure you time it just right. If you go too early, you can't jump high enough for the Scooby Snacks. Also, if you go too early, you don't really have to time at the end. Like, this is fine. Just have you wait on one of these boats. It's a good thing that neither of them seems to have their physics affected by the rising water. Nothing there but a sandwich. See, I'm so close to the top, but this part, right here. And if you fail, you have to do this entire section all over again. So you gotta wait for the water to go high enough. Unfortunately, that happened. And that's it. That water is not going back down again. So, on attempt number 4 or 5, I can't remember what number this was. Finally up there. Luckily the water stops there. And we got the supersonic smash. We can now ground pound near enemies to stun them. For the tougher enemies, it does have the same effect as hitting them the first time. So you only need to hit them once after that. I personally don't really find much use for it. I just bounce on top of them. Right, welcome to the graveyard. And that's where the warp gate is for some reason at the beginning of the section. Alright, well, I will see you guys next time as we explore the graveyard.